welcome to MissNJoy Spiritual Life Advice channel. I am MissNJoy and I'm here to do your love and soulmate connection reading for my Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for October 16th through the 31st. This reading is not intended for singles. My readings are gender fluid and apply to same-sex couples as well. Simply choose the masculine or feminine energies that best apply to you. I do not read reversals. I use many decks to clarify. I do not give outcomes because when dealing with love, everyone should use free will to make decisions in matters of the heart. Never allow myself or a reader to influence your final decision or your energy, okay? I'm simply here to enlighten and advise. If I do not resonate with you, please feel free to seek another reader. There are lots of wonderful readers and light workers out there, up here on YouTube, who may have the message that is intended for you. Please click like and subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. And we're going to go ahead and get into your energy, Libra. Hi. Welcome. Okay. I'm going to use my Lisa Frank Major Arcana deck to pull one card to speak to the overall energy of the relationship. And then we'll get into your masculine energies and your feminine energies. And we'll see what you guys got going on. Okay. All right. So, first of all, we're going to ask spirits of the ancestors, gods and goddesses, guardian angels, and watchers to please be here to deliver a positive message for my Libras, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for October 16th through the 31st. Only the spirits that I have called are welcome here. Only the spirits that mean us the greatest and higher good are welcome here. There will be no evil, no negativity. Protect us with love and light. Thank you very much, Spirit. Okay? Alright, let's see. What do we have for my Libras? One card, please, Spirit, for the overall. Alright, Spirit is talking this evening. Oh, we've got the Moon card. Okay, the Moon card could talk about secrets or things being done in the dark of night. Alright, so let's see. Let's see what we got. It can also talk about hidden emotions, not just, people keeping secrets. It can be about hidden emotions as well. It's representative of Pisces. All right, so I'm going to use for this series, I've been using Cyril Marchetti decks straight through. So I've been using Tarot of Dreams by Cyril Marchetti to read for the masculine energy, and Gilded Tarot to read for the feminine energies. Okay? All right. Alright, Spirit, may I have a positive and accurate insight into my masculine energy for my Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for October 16th through the 31st, please, Spirit. What is my masculine feeling, thinking, and doing, please, Spirit? What are my Libran masculines feeling, thinking, and doing? Or the ones related to the situation of those watching in my collective. Thank you, Spirit. More. All right. What is masculine feeling? Ooh, my math. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So we're going to have positive and accurate insight into the feminine energies for my Libras. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Always remember, I wish everyone, I knew that everyone knew their Venus sign, because I would read this specifically for Venus. But because everybody does not, I will not. But if you do know your Venus and this does not resonate with you, check your Venus naturally. Okay? All right. So if your Venus, this is what, Libra. If your Venus is in Taurus, then check Taurus. And it could resonate for your moon, especially because moon talks about your moon sign is your emotions. Because like I said, the moon card is representative of emotions and Pisces. Your moon sign speaks about the emotional side of you. All right. And sometimes your rising is just as, that's why we say that. All right, Spirit, might have a positive and accurate insight into the feminine energy. What is my, I had a flipper, hold on. What are my feminines feeling, thinking, and doing, please, Spirit? What are my feminines feeling, thinking, and doing, please, Spirit? What is my feminine, what are feminines feeling, thinking, and doing, please, Spirit? My feminine collective for my Libras feeling, thinking, and doing. Okay. All right, so in the masculine energy, we have the 8 of Wands, the Palace of Swords. I'll explain the Palace card in a minute. And the Page of Wands. All right, and then we're going to get into the feminine energy as the King of Pentacles. I'm sorry, the Knight of Pentacles, the King of Swords, and the 2 of Swords. Okay, so that's not right. Okay, all right, so excuse me, sometimes, some of my ancestors, y'all know how my mouth is and how I am, so if you're my regular viewers, so some of my ancestors are in that same energy. I mean, that's who raised me. So, I hear some smart ass remarks sometimes from the other side. All right, they don't change when they go over there. That's still my same old grandma. All right, okay, so, and some things I cannot repeat or choose not to repeat what I hear. The Palace of Wands card, let me explain. In the Cyril Marchetti deck, Tarot of Dreams, he has 4 additional cards, one for each element. One for wands, one for swords, one for cups, one for coins. And it's the Palace card. So this is the Palace of Swords. Oh my goodness, what is this pain in my neck? Okay. So for you, I shall read it just so you understand what it means. Swords. There we go. Palace of Swords. A cool, serene environment where subtle moods can be explored. The plants on the seafloor represent mysterious processes in our subconscious, which can only be revealed in quiet and gentle circumstances. Moon card. The jellyfish indicate messages and dreams which slowly rise from the ocean's depths. The King of Cups stand guard to protect the vulnerable, delicately formed flora and fauna. Okay, so I don't know if you can get, but I'll try with my pulled muscle. All right. Okay, so now with the Page of Wands, you have the 8 of Wands, the Palace of Swords, and the Page of Wands in the masculine energy. Okay, so what this says to me is that this masculine is not too good at communicating their feelings. They're keeping a lot bottled in, and they don't know how to express themselves, nor do they really know how to have a healthy relationship. Okay? It's like they want to, but they just don't know where to begin. Okay? It happens. Alright? Especially, we'll talk about it more in a second. We're going to talk about the feminine energy. So we have the Knight of Pentacles, the King of Swords, and the 2 of Swords. So because of this, feminine is wondering, like, what is wrong? And basically, that's what my spirit said. Basically what my spirit said was, slow asshole. So feminines in this energy, like, what is wrong with this man? How come, why is it so? I'm giving. I'm open, my door is open, my ears are open, my heart is open, my life is open to this masculine, but he's making no movement forward. Okay, feminine, So because you're seeing him as a slow asshole, you feel like he's being an asshole because he's not responding. You know, he's not communicating with you. He's not reciprocating your feelings. He's not engaging a relationship. He's just not. And you're like, and you know, we know. Feminines know, I hate to say it, but feminines know. They know too. They don't claim it. They'll ignore it. They'll deny it. All right? But they know in the back of their mind, that little voice is back there telling them, spirit is back there whispering in their ear too and say, she's your soulmate. She's your person. She's your person. But they don't listen. They block that shit out. Okay? So, maybe it's the testosterone. I don't know. But what I do know is it makes you feel like they don't give a fuck. You know, that's how it comes off. That's how it comes off. Because we don't understand. Because we can communicate our feelings a lot more easily than men. I mean, it's just them. That's just how a lot of them are made up. Especially when, so this was the message I was getting. All right, when I was saying, hold on, I'll get to it. Especially when, in today's society, I don't mean to go on a rant, but this is going to take me a minute because I need to fully explain my views. Now, remember, this is Miss Enjoy Spiritual Life Advice channel. So, my advice is my opinion. So, let me give my opinion on the current breakdown of society that has come to be. Because we have, and I'm not knocking it. I was there. Before I married, well, kind of, sort of. I married my oldest daughter's father, but it only lasted 24 days. The intention was to be there. I married the man. But he decided to get violent with me, and I was 6 weeks pregnant, and I called my mama, and I took my black ass home. Okay? All right. So, and that was that. Okay? And then I went on, right after she was born, to meet her stepdad, who was a beautiful and wonderful father to her. Oh, this is a good way to go. Thank you. Who was a beautiful and wonderful father to her for the duration of his life. Okay, he passed away 2 years ago. God rest Bubba. All right, so that being said, the reason that he was able to be a wonderful husband and he could have been if there had not been so much outside influence. We're not gonna go into that, but the reason he was able to be a wonderful father and know what to do and know how to conduct a relationship, even the basics of it, even if he didn't do right all the time. It wasn't just him. I didn't do right all the time either. We were very young. We were 19 and 21. All right. So, the reason he was able to to even have the basic foundation of knowing how to be a good husband is just like the reason I was able to have a basic foundation of knowing how to be a good wife. Okay? I couldn't have learned that at home, where I was born and raised, because I was raised by single women. Okay? I probably would have grown up a lot differently and would be a lot differently had I not had the chance when I was 6 years old to go live with my great-grandparents in Virginia. Okay? When I got there, I had uncles when I was born in New York. So I had uncles there, but they were young. You know what I'm saying? They weren't married yet. They didn't have wives and all that good stuff. So I was at the age of 6 years old, I was sent to Virginia to go live with my great-grandparents. Okay? My grandmother was in nursing school and she was wrapping that up. But for the most part, that gave me there was a man. What? There was a man in the house. What? There was a man with a wife in the house. I had heard of husbands and wives. I saw my little friends at school have moms and dads in the same place, but I didn't have that. I had a mom and I had a dad. You know what I'm saying? I never met my maternal grandfather, ever. My grandmother left him when my mother was a teenager and never went back. I never met the man. Never met him. And so I never had a granddad till I got to Virginia, and then there was Papa. Okay? And he was so kind, and he was so sweet. And I observed. I was always been an observant. I was born to be a person who studied human behavior. because I observed things. I observed how she cleaned her home. Well, my grandmother cleaned her home, but it's, you know, it's kind of different when you have a husband. I observed how she did his laundry. I observed how she made his meals. I observed how she made his plate. I began to help in that process. She would be over there and she'd make his plate, and I'd jump up and go get his plate and like take it from her to the table. You know, I observed how they would hold hands and they would sit and talk, and I observed how at night I would go to bed and they'd sit up and watch Johnny Carson together, and then they'd go to bed together. And then I actually one time heard them, you know, getting a little freak on in the wee morning hours. I was on my way to the bathroom. I was a little kid. I knew what was going on, you know, but I didn't have those experiences where I was born at originally. I didn't get that until I went there. And so for that same reason, and the father of my children who came along, he was the father of my last 3 children, and he was a wonderful stepfather to my first 2 children. So I was a single mom at a point, but not for very long. But so I don't knock that. But he was able to know how to be a husband and a father because he had that environment. He grew up already in an area where he had grandparents that did that till death do them part thing, okay? For 50 some odd, almost 60 years or so they were married, okay? His grandparents. He had a grandmother at one point. So he knew all his grandparents. He knew all of his people. There were all these marriages and husbands and wives and relationships surrounding him. He had that basis of family that so many people don't have now because, and I'm not throwing stones, but when you're irresponsible, when you're having children outside of the comfort of a marriage, all right, of a solid, stable commitment. I'm not saying marriages don't break up and people don't end up single after the fact, but to start that way is just a very serious breakdown in society, because when you have the single mom who has that baby and she doesn't care, I don't care if his dad's going to be around, I'm having my baby, I'm getting pregnant. You know, protect yourselves. Protect yourselves, because it has a greater impact and effect on the rest of the world and society and that child than you realize. Because we have these men that have no idea how to be a father, how to be a leader, how to be a husband. Okay? And they don't know how to communicate their feelings. They don't know how to open up. They don't know how to embrace. They don't know how to accept. They don't know how to be understanding. My great-grandfather was the most caring, nurturing. He was so sweet. He spent more time with me than my great-grandmother did. When I scraped my knee, he patched me up. Okay? He taught me lessons and he told me things that I will carry with me for the rest of my life. Now, when I got back to New York, my aunt had married. And I got an uncle. He was with me. He's with me in spirit. I hear his spirit. I had an uncle that was more of a father to me than my father. He was the father I didn't have. And so I got to see that marriage. And I got to see how they interacted and how they were there for. He was there for my aunt. When she cried, when she broke down, when no one else would deal with the crazy aunt, he was her rock. And when he died, she lost her complete and total fucking mind. She really, literally, I'm not playing. She already had some issues, and she became intensely mentally ill. It became worse and worse and worse. That being said, understand, feminine, because I know with the 2 of Swords is here. So that means you want to cut this off. You want to stop. You want to just, because you don't understand why he's not communicating with you, why he's not letting you in to his palace. Okay? When it talks about the flora and fauna that are on the floor, you know, that are protecting, the knights are protecting, okay? It's the emotion that they're protecting. It's gonna take, some of them don't. And those are the worst to deal with, all right? And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. And free will is a thing, so you decide what path to take, all right? Because only you know what you want and what you need in life. But I've said it before and I'll say it again and I'll keep saying it. Just because you have a soulmate, some of us have several. It doesn't mean that that soulmate, no one promised you that their soulmate would be a wonderful person, would be loving and caring and kind, and nobody promised you all of these things. All right? So instead of sometimes people pray, please send me a soulmate, send me a soulmate, maybe you don't need a soulmate. Maybe you should pray and ask Spirit and universe and manifest. Maybe you should ask for someone who is the things that you want. Okay? Because to call a soulmate, there are soulmates of many kinds. And just because that's your soulmate, nobody promised that that soulmate would be a wonderful, loving, caring, giving, kind, nurturing person. If you want a loving, giving, caring, kind, nurturing person, then call in a loving, caring, giving, kind, and nurturing person. Don't just call a soulmate. That's too vague. That's entirely too vague. All right? So, that being said, this is your message. Page of Wands, he just doesn't know. And it's very funny that in this Page of Wands, usually when you see 4 of Wands, it'll have the wands standing in this position where there's 2 on one side and 2 on the other side, and they appear to form the 1111 synchronicity, which is the twin flame soulmate synchronicity, 1111. And it's awful funny that in this Page of Wands, there are those 4 wands that appear on each side of his head that look like 1111. Okay? Feminine, he doesn't know. He's not just a slow asshole, a slow moving asshole. He's not just holding back. He just doesn't know. He just doesn't know how. All right? So the love can be there all day long. But if you've never seen a healthy relationship, and you've never known that it's healthy to express yourself, and nobody ever taught you these things, no one taught you how to love. Okay? So feminine, you can run, or you can talk to him about this and let him know that you understand the inner workings of him, and be patient and wait for him to open up, or possibly teach him, if he's open to it, how to love in the manner that is proper for a relationship. Okay? I'm not going to pull any oracle cards because this ran long. But I love you. I feel like the message there was completely understood. Hopefully. Good luck with this. Patience, I recommend. But if you really do find that it's something that you can't deal with, don't further break a person who is already broken. Don't further break a person who's already broken. You know? And if you proceed in a situation that's going to make you bitter or angry because you're not getting what it is that you need and want from this person, then cut your losses now. But if you can be patient and you can be understanding, and most of the time it takes longevity for a man to feel comfortable enough with a woman. They have to know that their heart and their mind is stable with, is safe with you, that their secrets and their innermost thoughts are safe. They have to learn how to trust you deeply, and that does not happen overnight. So you can think he's being a slow asshole, but that doesn't happen quickly. It really doesn't. That's why we get hurt so much more than men do, because sometimes we're too quick to trust with our heart and our feelings and our emotions, feminine. All right? So men aren't like that. They take longer. It takes more. Okay? So that's why they say you should be a ride or die chick. I mean, it's kind of true, because you're not going to get through to a man overnight. It's very rare. It's very rare. There are some men that have been raised in a manner where they're in touch with their feelings like that, but it's rare. All right, I love you and good luck with this, and we'll check back in with you in this situation for the beginning of November. Okay, love you guys. Have a great All Hallows. Bye.
A list of services provided and instructions for making appointments, payments, or donations is provided in the channel description as well as in the description of each video. If you like my channel, please don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and share. And always remember to enjoy life.